All right, what is up, guys? NA4 here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, you see the thumbnail, you see the title, you see the backdrop. Obviously, we're here to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, all right? Or just simply Deadpool 3, whatever helps you sleep at night, whatever you prefer. But if you're a regular here, you knew it was coming, okay? You know I was going to make this video, let's be honest. But if you're new here, welcome. It's nice to see you today. You look perfect. Chef's kiss. I wouldn't change a thing. Hopefully, you're having a great day. But if you enjoy this kind of stuff, definitely feel free to drop a like on the video, share it, subscribe if you're new. I would appreciate it. It's free, okay? It's 100% free. It won't cost you a dime, okay? Help me out. I'm trying to reach my goal. But I'll be letting you guys know my personal opinion on the movie. Did I like it? Did I dislike it? Is it my favorite in the trilogy? Is it a top tier Marvel MCU film? I'll be letting you guys know my personal thoughts. But yeah, let's hop straight into it. I am so proud that I can say that Marvel, they put out a banger with this one, okay? They put out a banger, okay? The Deadpool trilogy, they didn't miss. Not a single one. First one hit, second one hit, this one hits out of this world to infinity and beyond. No Disney reference. They didn't sponsor me with this video, unfortunately. Although they should. But as we all know, Marvel hasn't been, you know, they haven't been hitting that much lately, okay? A lot of their projects have been either very mid or not so hot. All right, so I'm glad that I can say that this movie, I had a great time with it. Probably the most anticipated movie of the year, and what will probably be the biggest movie of the year. It's definitely between this one and Inside Out 2. Um, yeah, that movie, it hit. Inside Out 2. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a good time. An emotional one as well. But we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. So, as you know, there was a lot that happened behind the scenes with this movie. Lots of, the writer strike and uh, Fox and Disney. It's a whole thing. And I'm glad that they at least acknowledge it in this movie. This movie doesn't hold back anything. So I'm definitely glad that the MCU gave this movie the proper R rating. Deadpool PG-13 doesn't go in the same conversation. So I'm glad that this is an R-rated joyride from beginning to end. This movie does a fantastic job of keeping you invested. It keeps you just laughing throughout the whole thing, man. This movie is just really good. I can't say anything really negative about it. But I don't know how to do a proper movie review for this movie without spoiling it. So, uh, if you don't want to hear anything like that, any spoilers, I would recommend you go click off, watch a spoiler-free review, or just go watch the movie for yourself. But yeah, if you gotta go, you gotta go. I understand. Take care, buddy. But anyways, no, I think this movie did a great job, with all the characters that's in this one. And I'm really glad that it doesn't seem like it's Deadpool featuring Wolverine. Like it's definitely Wolverine's movie just as much as it is Deadpool's. So I do like that. It's, a perfect blend of both of them. And it's a good blend between both MCU and Fox, like how you had like those classic characters from the Fox movies, the Fox Marvel movies back in like the 2000s and stuff like that. That's what I like to see, man. I'm glad that they, well, at least some of them could make an appearance in this movie. Like you ever see those like Marvel edits and it got like all those older like superheroes like the X-Men, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, like all of those like uh collab like edits and stuff on YouTube. That's pretty much what this movie is, and it does it beautifully. Okay, it was good to see a lot of these characters return, get their time to shine, or even just like their first appearance. So I like this a lot, man. This movie was so fun. The violence, the action, the comedy, and the thing I like about this movie is it doesn't overdo it with the jokes. There are like a couple of scenes in this movie where you're like, damn, like that was actually kind of sad. Like man, like that's pretty depressing actually. Like um it definitely does take the time to like take itself seriously. So, it's not just ha ha, jokes all the time. There are lots of like serious moments in this movie, which I actually really liked. It adds to its what's the word I'm looking for? It adds to its charm, I'll say. And I really hope that this movie ages well, okay? Because I know some fans are never happy, okay? Like even when Endgame first came out, it was a big deal. Everyone loved it, and now years later, everyone's kind of just like, it's okay. Like, I don't know. Even with No Way Home, No Way Home had the biggest impact of this effect. Like when it first came out, everyone was talking about it. It was like mind blowing, coolest thing in the world. But now people are kind of like, it was a cool theater experience, but the movie itself is just like, dude, get out of here. So hopefully this movie doesn't have that same effect, okay? Because people give Ryan Reynolds a hard time. They're like, oh, like um, he doesn't have any range. He just plays the same guy over and over and over again. But like right now, he's on top of the world. But then people are gonna like switch up and stuff like that. But it's unacceptable in my opinion. But I will say, I don't know. Like the only negative I can possibly think of for this movie is I feel like it kind of dragged on just a little bit. But for the story that it's telling, and just all the things that happen like during production, I can understand to a certain extent. It also just might be my ADHD. So for me, it's like I can't stay here too much longer. I got to move. So it could just be me. And another thing is, as you all know, there are certain characters who are coming back. So Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine. Some people might not like that because they're like, oh, Logan was the perfect movie, the perfect conclusion, and just for you guys to bring him back, it's just going to tarnish that movie. Same thing with Endgame. Oh, like Robert Downey Jr. Oh, he had the perfect character arc, the perfect closing to his character, and then he's coming back as Doctor Doom for some odd reason. And even Chris Evans, as you if you've seen the movie, he comes back in this movie as the Human Torch, and people are like, oh, like we don't want to see Chris Evans again, like, like let his character rest, it's only been a couple years, but I don't know, man, it was cool to see, and I will say like it was surprising, even though I did get it spoiled for me on the social media and stuff, it was still very cool to see a lot of these cameos and a lot of these characters return. I liked it a lot. But I do like that it's like a love letter to like a lot of like not so popular superheroes, or a lot of those older Fox movies. Like seeing that some of those characters come back, it's like, oh man, that's really cool. Like we haven't seen them in years. So it's nice that they're not like completely forgotten and they got like a little time to shine. I like that. Um and another thing is like with Hugh Jackman, him coming back, everybody might not like that, okay? But it's cool because it's like, oh, like he does numbers, okay? Hugh Jackman, he can bring out an audience. So him and Ryan Reynolds together, um, getting to redo everything because, as you know, X-Men Origins Wolverine wasn't the greatest movie in the world, wasn't really received too high either. So it was cool to finally get them together on the big screen doing big things together. It worked out beautifully. And same thing with Hayden Christensen with Anakin Skywalker. Back then, people were like, "Oh man, we don't like him as Anakin." But now that he's come back to reprise that role in like Ahsoka and stuff, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, we love you." Like, so it's cool to see characters get to return um, with specific actors. I think that it means a lot to them. It's kind of what they're most known for, so it makes money. It makes sense. But my final conclusion for this movie is it's a good time, man. I could watch it again and I'll be satisfied. Definitely one of the better MCU films, definitely one of the better ones in recent years. Um, so I don't know, because you kind of get a point where it's like, where else can you go with Deadpool's character? There's lots of like hints and Easter eggs that we could see more of the character, but it's also like you don't want to milk it too much. You don't want to milk it too much. That's what happened with Thor and Thor: Love and Thunder. We didn't need a fourth movie, but they gave it to us, and it wasn't really a good movie. So hopefully they stop while they're ahead. Um, but I don't know, man. Overall, I did enjoy this movie. Like I said, I think it kind of dragged itself on just a little bit too long, in my opinion. But that's just me. Um, and it was interesting to see Johnny Storm because he didn't act that way in the previous Fantastic Four movies. But as I understand, okay, R rated. No holding back, and they're all just having fun, so I can live with it. But yeah, I'll give this movie a 9 out of 10. I think there was something holding it back for me. I don't know what it is, but overall, I'm satisfied. Great movie. Go watch it. 9 out of 10. But I'm in A4 and I am out. Peace.